these kids. You think there's more?
You think there's more? Of course. Let's do it. I was excited. That is when... Good morning, Keep It Crazy family. Okay, today's a little bit different of a vlog. The other day I drew like my family dynamic and everyone's like, that makes so much sense now. And like, it just made everything come together. Well, I'm gonna be drawing our family life and we're each kid, because people are like, well, when did Tristan come in? Did Tristan know this kid before he came in? Does this one know? Yeah. I'm gonna try my best to make it as accurate as possible, because some kids came in to foster care and then left for a little bit and then came back, and then it's very confusing. And sorry, my stick guys are gonna be the best I can draw because I am not an artist. Or maybe you're the stick drawer.
I could draw the sticks,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, Hallie's a better stick drawer than me.
Okay.
Okay, so start with mom and dad. We met, we fell in love,
Dad has the bigger head.
Oh, okay. Where's my little dress then? You gotta know the difference.
Do you know what year?
Okay, we met, oh gosh, 2001? And then we
2001.
dated till 2002. No, we met in 2002. 2002, sorry.
2002.
Okay. So we met, our first date was on Valentine's Day. We fell in love. This was in 2002. Then we had a teenage pregnancy.
That's me.
That's Hallie!
Well, show us that stomach. Wow, Hallie, this is you about a week and a half, 2 weeks before you're here, Hallie. You dirty Hallie.
There's your dad.
And we had Hallie in, actually we got married in October of 2023. And then...
2023, so only 2 years ago?
2003. Oh gosh. This is going to be more confusing after the fact. Okay, and Hallie was born in 2004. So we were married at this point, we have Hallie. So then one day, Aaron and I were talking and we're like, should we try for another? So I wanted 4 kids, he wanted 2 kids. So we're like, maybe we should have 3, we don't know. Anyways, so we were just talking about it. We were like, hey, should we try for another? Boom, pregnant with Max.
Enter Max.
Hi, Max!
Say hi, wave.
Max, say hi. Hi.
And Max was born in 2006. So it was a couple years later, roughly. Okay, so this is our little family. Then we start talking again and I'm like, should we have another? And then he's like, yes, we should. So we decided to start trying to have another baby and could not get pregnant. Like trying for years, could not get pregnant. Finally went to the doctor. They gave me these pills that you take that make you release an egg, so it's easier to get pregnant. And we did that, and within 1 month, I was pregnant. And so I was so excited. And then I had a miscarriage. So after all those years, and I was so heartbroken. It was one of the hardest like periods of our life. And we went through a miscarriage, and in the middle of that, when I was having a really hard time, I don't know, with just everything, Aaron came to me and was like, he should be here explaining, he's not home right now, but he would be like, Crystal, you want to try adoption and foster care? And I said, yeah, like, oh my gosh. And it just felt like something clicked, and it was just like what we were meant to do and meant to the path we were meant to be on. So I signed us up for classes like that week. Like I was like, we're on it, like we're doing this. So we start the classes, which is a 10-week, period to get through all those classes. You do 1 a week for 10 weeks. Anyways, we're in those classes doing that. And I found out I'm pregnant. So, okay, real quick before I start that, find out I'm pregnant, and that's with Logan. But hold on, wait for it. In the middle of all of that, we continued to do the foster care and adoption route. And I was like, no, I still feel like this is the route we were meant to be on. I do feel like everything happened to lead us to that path. And so we went through those classes with me being pregnant. So we got our first couple foster children and got licensed for our first couple in August of 2011. And Logan was born October of 2011. So just draw like a couple like little tiny ones, like two, actually we had 2 foster children. So we had 2 little foster kids.
I was gonna give them a little happy face. Oh, they're not
Little
very
happy face. And then Logan came in the picture.
And then
Little baby Logan.
he has a dress.
Why does he have a dress on?
Pretend it's a diaper.
Did you panic?
I forgot I was drawing. When did he come? 2011.
October 2011. Okay, well, let's say 2011. That is, okay, right, little Logan's name.
Logan.
Sorry, Logan, that you're wearing a dress.
And he's
It's a diaper.
baby.
He's our rainbow baby, which means like your baby right after having a miscarriage. So he was our rainbow baby. We're so excited. One of these foster children only stayed with her a couple months, and then they were out of the picture. And then the other one stayed with us for 2 years. And we thought for sure we were going to get to adopt her. It was going that route. And then it took a turn due to some caseworker mishap. And she ended up leaving us. So going back to Biomom. Okay.
Erasing the kids is so sad.
It's so sad. They come in the middle of all this, though, in all of that 2 years, kids did come and go, and we had a lot of foster children in and out of our house. I think a total, I don't know an exact number, but around 31 kids that we've fostered in our home. So I'm going to not put the rest of the foster kids in this. I'm just going to put the kids that ended up being adopted and are forever children. So I just wanted to explain that part. Okay, so come this area, right before this one left actually, came Ariana. So Ariana came in the picture. Ari. And she came in 2012. And then Melinda came in the picture next. And so right in the middle of this, when we were having all these different kids, we decided to move homes because we needed a little bit more space, because we only had like a 3-bedroom house. When we had the 3 and then the 2 foster kids, we decided to move houses. And we moved into a house that was in a different county, and we had to switch license agencies. And so when we were switching agencies, because we were only licensed for 0 to 7, and when we switched agencies, they messed up on our license and put a 1 in front of the 7. So all of a sudden we were licensed for 0 to 17. And we were like, oh my gosh, we didn't want to take teens, and we were scared of teens at the time, but turned out to be the best possible thing we could do. So anyways, that's how Melinda ended up coming in the picture. And Melinda also came in 2012. Hold on. I gotta think about that for a second. Gosh. The time, you know, when time just like goes by so fast that you're like, sometimes I look at pictures and I'm like, what kid is this? Like, you know, you write on the back of pictures, that's what you should always do. Ariana came in 2012, roughly in March, April-ish. And a couple months later is when Melinda came, so also in 2012. So we can write that on there.
They share.
Okay, they share the year. After that, Jake came in the picture, and that was awesome. That was the end of, it was like beginning of December of 2012 is when Jake came into the picture, and he was 5 years old. Sweetest little boy. Still is so sweet.
I don't know why I wrote lowercase j, but it's okay. And that was 2000.
That was 2012 also. 2012
Wow, that was
a busy
a
year
year.
for us. We're having lots of children in 2012. Okay, in the middle of all of this, also came Tristan 2 weeks later. So he was in December of 2012. I'll put him over here. Okay, that's Tristan.
Call him T.
Okay, also known as T. All of his close friends and everyone calls him T. Okay, that was also 2012. So this whole year were these 3. Four. These 4, however, they were foster children at this point. So I didn't know if we were going to get to adopt. Really, well, everyone except for Ariana. Ariana for sure was going to be adopted. The other 3 were foster, and we weren't sure kind of what path that would take. Jake's plan was to go back to bio family, so he was a foster child at that point, and we thought he was going to go back to family. Melinda and Tristan, she was 17, he was 16, and so we thought at the time, well, I wanted to adopt, both of them. I loved them both so much. But their rights weren't severed from their parents, so the caseworkers told me it's not even possible to adopt them. And I'm like, it's just paper to me, like, you guys are adopted in our hearts, which you'll hear us say that in some videos, but that's kind of that period. Okay. Then we move houses again to a different area with a better school district. We didn't like the schools and things that we were in. We were also a growing family at this point. I mean, we were at 7 kids
plus foster,
and plus we had a couple of foster children in the middle of this, so it was kind of a little confusing, but okay. So go on to 2013, and okay, who do we have? Brody came in the picture next. So our little Brody, and Brody was just a baby, guys. He was so sweet. He's a little baby.
And he got the little baby hair.
Oh, I'm loving the stick figures. Okay, that was Brody. 2013.
I'm running out of room.
Woo. Okay, mind you, in the middle of this, we had fostered and, kids had gone back, and we were feeling like, are we supposed to be done? Like, is this kind of our family dynamic? And we only would have ended up adopting Ariana at this point. Brody, we didn't know which way his case was going, but we were kind of like getting burnt out a little bit, but also feeling it's really, really hard to get attached to children, and then they go back, and you go into it knowing that, and you're hoping for reunification, because that obviously is a really good plan as long as it's safe and healthy. But we were kind of like, okay, we're gonna close our license at this point once these ones are like figured out. So fast forward, right before I closed our license, like I literally was like sending the letter or the text to my adoption worker saying, hey, like, I'm foster care worker. I was like, we're gonna be done. And she sent me an email and said, you're not done yet. Literally, it kind of worked out like that. But anyways, so we got this email, and it had Hannah and Alex in it. And they were a sibling set of 4, so there were other 2. But Hannah and Alex were in this email, so this is where they came into the picture. And I just knew they were meant to be. Oh, little Hannah. And then Alex. So right as they came into the picture, I knew their rights were already severed. They were already available for adoption. So it technically wasn't a foster care placement, it was adoption. And then that's right when Brody's rights got severed from his parents. So the 3 of them got adopted together, all 3 at the same time, even though they came in different times and different. Periods of our life, though this was also 2013. Don't quote me if I'm a year off here or there. I'm trying my best off of memory and just thinking about this in my head. So, okay. So anyways, those 3 got adopted later on in the year in 2013. It might have been 2014. Pretty sure it was 13. Okay. At this point, I'm like, okay. Like, we're
getting up in numbers.
The family's getting a little big. Like, we're happy, we're content, everything's great. Jake, we were still fostering. Fun fact about Jake, well, I don't know, fun fact. A fact about Jake is he was in our home for 3 years prior to being adopted. So at this point, we're adopting everyone else, and Jake is just he's just living with us. He's our son, obviously, but he was still foster at that point. This is where the story takes a sad turn. and just draw a little lightning bolt right here. So this is where Tristan kind of leaves the picture a little bit. He's always there, but he just took a hiatus for a second. Okay, so Tristan leaves the picture a little bit right in the beginning of all this. And then we get the call about Jamie, and Jamie being in Michigan. She was pregnant, and we couldn't gauge the situation because I didn't know Jamie at that point. So anyways, we get a call. Melinda gets a call from Jamie saying, hey, I'm pregnant. I call back, and Melinda and I talked to her together, and I'm like, how far along are you? And she says, I'm 19 months. And I'm like, okay, pregnancy is only 10 months. Like, have you seen a doctor? She said no. And then she said kind of, and then she said I'm 1 month, and I'm like, okay, she
just didn't understand.
She didn't understand the time frames and how pregnancy works and just all of that. So Melinda and I fly to Michigan at this point, and we get there, and I instantly fall in love with Jamie. Like, and walking into the situation, I was like, you need to come back with us, because it wasn't a very safe and healthy environment she was in. But I was like, okay, you need to come back. We'll get you an ultrasound. Mind you, I'm pregnant with a surrogacy baby at this point in all of this. My second surrogacy. So I did do another pregnancy in the middle of this, which I know a lot of people are like, how did you get pregnant with a surrogate if you had a hard time getting pregnant with your own? It's because it's done through IVF, and they implant the egg. It was when I was having a hard time getting pregnant, I just wasn't releasing eggs timely, and I was skipping periods, and I was all over the place. So anyways, I had a surrogacy baby. I forgot about that. So I'm pregnant with my second surrogacy baby, okay?
Should we just do a tally mark of all the pregnancies?
All the pregnancies.
Me, Max.
Miscarriage, Logan, first surrogacy, second surrogacy. Okay, that's where we're at. And that's in the middle of all this craziness. I don't know. It was a wild time in our lives. Okay.
There's a lot going on.
So I'm pregnant, and we go out. So draw Jamie in the picture right here. So this is little Jamie.
Pregnant.
She's pregnant. Oh wait, Tristan was still in the picture when Jamie came in, because he met Aurora and everyone in the baby. So wait, we're not going to draw this quite yet.
Nice balance.
Tristan left in...
So this was in 2016. Is the point we're at right now.
Really?
Yeah.
That was like forever ago.
Yeah. So Tristan is still in the picture when all this, period. Okay. So Jamie comes into the picture. She goes, guys, this is the craziest story ever, but we take her to the doctor. She doesn't know her last period or anything, so they have to do an ultrasound to figure out her due date. I can't even make this up. Her due date was the exact same due date as my surrogacy baby. Craziest thing, I was like, we're due on the same day, Jamie. What the heck? Like that, it was just like down to the exact
crazy
day.
Coincidence.
Craziest thing ever. So it was kind of nice though, because we did all of our OB appointments together. So I'm like, cool, you're at the same period I'm in with my pregnancy. We can relate, everything's good. And we do our pregnancy together. So Jamie, one day, not understanding labor pains and everything, she was still really scared, and this was a new environment and a new family, and it was a lot. And so Jamie was still too, I don't know, nervous to ask me for like medicine or like different things at this point. So she goes to Hannah, and she says, hey, Hannah, can you ask Mom for a Tylenol? Because I'm in a lot of pain. Like, I was up in a lot of pain last night. So Hannah comes to me, hey, Jamie needs a Tylenol. I haven't told this story, but Jamie needs a Tylenol, and she's in a lot of pain. And I was like, oh no, we're nearing the end of the pregnancy. It was still 4 weeks before our due date. So I was like, okay, we still have 4 weeks, but I'm just gonna go ask. So I went up there, I was like, hey, what kind of pain? Is it coming and going? You know, are you bleeding at all? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, it comes and it hurts so bad that I can barely walk, and then it's gone. And I'm like,
she didn't realize she was
in labor.
Yeah.
You're in labor. So we rushed to the hospital. She ends up having Aurora. I think she was already like 6-7 centimeters dilated by the time we got to the hospital because she did labor, not understanding it for a little bit. Anyways, that's where Aurora comes into the picture. Little Aurora, born in 2016.
And Jamie's no longer pregnant.
And Jamie's no longer pregnant. Okay. So this is now our family dynamic.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, the crazy thing too, just real quick on a side story. So because she had Aurora 4 weeks early, Aurora ended up being in the NICU for 2 weeks. She was not passing the seatbelt test to be able to come home. She was also having feeding problems and just a bunch of different little things with that. So we would go every day and visit her and feed her and everything at the hospital. One day after being at the hospital all day, all the nurses knew me at this point. I got home, my water broke. So then I went back to the hospital, and weirdest coincidence, Aurora got released from the hospital the same day I got released from the hospital. So it felt like this literally feels made up. But I was like, nope, this is, these people's baby, and they're coming to pick this baby up because they're from China and they didn't make it to the birth, and that's a whole other thing. But anyways, so I had to leave that baby because they were coming, and I took Aurora. So I was like, here's this baby, here's this. So I left with the baby, but it felt like, I don't even know. Okay, anyways. And from that point, DCS, it's called, it used to be called CPS, had stepped in the picture and placed Aurora with us as a foster child. And so that's kind of that, family dynamic. Okay.
How many kids are we at?
Now, we don't even know at this point.
11.
Okay, we're 11 kids at this point. So now this is when Tristan kind of takes the hiatus and kind of leaves the family a little bit. We're just going to draw that right there, but he's always still there. Now, Melinda ends up being pregnant with Scarlett at this point. So she's pregnant. We end up, actually right after Scarlett was born, we end up moving to St. John's. And in St. John's, we thought our family was complete, and we thought everything, we were happy dynamic of a family here. And then Aaron comes to me and is like, just getting a feeling that we still have kids out there. And I'm like,
you're like, with all these kids, you think there's more?
You think there's more? Of course, let's do it. I was excited. That is when Lucas and Savannah come into the picture.
She's right there.
She's sitting right there. So we have Lucas, Savannah.
Love the drawing.
Look how cute you are, Savannah.
Luke's got kind of a chin, but it's okay.
Got a strong chin line. Okay, and this is in 2019?
2020.
2020. Oh, it was right in the middle of COVID and all
Yeah.
of that. So this was in 2020.
2020.
2020. There are 2020 babies. Okay, and then we thought, okay, we're done. Our family's complete. We're good. And then we were moving back from St. John's back down to the valley, and I get an
Another
email and a call, and I just start getting.
It was like a week after we moved here.
Yeah, well, they called right before we moved here. I was literally on my way to do a dump run. I know this is the most random thing. I was on my way to the dump run, and I had a whole bunch of trash in the back that we were getting ready because we were getting ready to move, so we were cleaning everything out. And I get a call from a caseworker that was like, just hear me out. I have 3 kids. The rights have been severed. They're available for adoption. I just get this feeling they're meant to be yours. We have this whole conversation, and I was like, I'm right in the middle of moving. We're moving pretty far. I was like, I need a minute. I don't know, you can continue to look for families for them. I just need a minute. And so we moved down here, but within a week of being here, I can't stop thinking about them, and I can't, and it keeps, and finally, so I was the one that went to Aaron, and I was like, listen. I was like, I can't, can we just go have lunch with them? Let's just go have lunch. And we go have lunch, Aaron and I get in the car and we were like, these are our kids. And this was Bella, Liam, and Ryzen. Oh, you gave her long hair. She's going to love it.
Her and her long
She
hair.
loves her hair.
And then little boys. Everyone's happy.
Happy little things.
Bella. Yeah.
So this is now our family dynamic, full of twists and turns and all of that. I feel like there's a lot of little stories that go in between each of these, like certain foster kids would leave and we'd get a call for this, and like there was just everything, I feel like, just fell into place the way it was meant to be. We are now living down in the valley, and we just get that feeling that we have one more missing piece, and that is when Evie comes into the picture. Little Evie. Evie. Okay, and then right when Evie comes back, as you guys saw, so this was in, what year are we even in right now? This was 2023. And then Tristan comes back in the picture. We're gonna take this.
Yay!
Yay! The family's all reunited. One big happy family. And this is how. Oh, Melinda had Scarlett. We left her pregnant. She had little Scarlett. Oh, was that the baby? And that was in 2017.
That's Scarlett.
It does.
It's wrapped in a blanket, guys. It's a
Yeah.
baby.
So we have one grandchild. We have 18 kids. This is our life story. And it's still unfolding. We never know. Well, we're getting ready. Oh, so wait, real quick. So we did end up adopting Melinda. We found out that we could, and there was a loophole in the system. So she ended up being adopted. And then, Jake got adopted 3 years after coming in. But then Tristan is going to be our last adoption, and we are closing our license, and our family is complete.
No more kids.
Unless grandchildren.
We have one
All right.
counting.
One and counting. All right. Thank you so much for watching our long Draw My Life of our family dynamic. I hope this clears things up or confused you more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.